So if you have decided that you're going to move overseas with your VA money, three things that I suggest you go ahead and think about it before you leave, right? Your residency in the U.S., like where you're going to get mail, your phone number, the U.S. phone number, and your banking. They're all three related. So I figure like now I'm waiting for my daughter to finish her piano class, so I might as well like talk about those things right now. Just thinking about it, and they're all related more than you would think. And just now before, I asked for a coffee and a little piece of bread. Like, look at that. They gave me like tiny little coffee and jam, butter. I gotta love Portugal, man. It's like $3 for all this. It's not bad. But anyways, so let's start with the banking. I personally use USAA. And of course, I have like investment accounts and things like that. I would highly suggest you don't call them and advertise, hey, we're moving overseas, yay. Like, no, you're excited about it. Tell your friends, tell your family. Don't tell the banks. No, you'll be fine. Like I use my card here, USAA card, never had any issues. Most of the time, you're not even going to use them anyways. You're going to transfer the money to something like Revolut, and then use the card from there, or move to your U.S. Portuguese account or whatever country you go to. So be careful before you go advertising that you are leaving, because of course you still want to keep like your bank in the U.S. And then the reason why I say those three things related a lot is because in order for you to keep your bank in the U.S., you're going to need a mailing address in the U.S., right? And of course, like a lot of times when you access your account, they have the two-way authentication, so you need to have a U.S. number as well. So speaking of U.S. numbers, there are a couple things that you can do about that. You can do like a Google Voice number, which is voice over IP. I don't suggest that. Like, you're still gonna get your text messages and calls, but you might have issue with the two-way authentications for things like, I guess whatever account you use that does that, you might have issue with that. So what I would suggest is either do something like Mint Mobile, which they have like a really cheap option that you can still, it's like an actual number for the US, and you can make phone calls and have text messages overseas only over Wi-Fi, which still works, right? What I do, and again, like it's a little bit more expensive, but that's my suggestion. For me, it works, and I'll tell you why, is I have the T-Mobile, the military discounted one. But what I love about it is that I can go anywhere in the world and I get text message for free and data for free. It's not the fastest data, but it's enough for me to use Google Maps and it's just things like that, just basic stuff. So for me, it works because when I got here, I still use I got a Portuguese phone number, and of course, whatever country you go to, you're gonna do the same. But because I do travel a lot, like suppose if I jump over to Morocco, if I go to Turkey, whatever I do, like I don't have to be worried about getting like eSIM everywhere I go. I can just use my T-Mobile one, the data for my T-Mobile. And when I'm here, of course, I just use the Portuguese one. So for me, it works really well. And then, of course, it depends what your needs are and everything. But maybe just have one person in the family keep the U.S. number. Might be a good idea. Actually, it's a very good idea. Make sure you do that. And that third was we were talking about was your mailing address. So that's like some things that you might not have thought about, right? So one, you can go ahead and use your own family member or a family member or a friend that that allowed you to use their address for you to receive mail. And then of course, so if it's something important, they have to open for you or whatever. Like what we use is Traveling Mailbox. It has been amazing. So basically, like we got emails, or there's an app too, like, you got a mail, and then it just shows the outside of it. If I know it's like something that I don't care about it, I just click trash and it'll trash it. Or I can go ahead and say like open, and they'll open and they'll scan the PDF. If it's a card, for instance, let's say my MX card, I lost it, they send it there because that's my mailing address. And then once they got there, I opened, make sure that was my card, and then I mailed it here to Portugal, and it can mail anywhere in the world. One thing that I would highly maybe you don't think about that, but make sure that whatever state of residency that you have in the U.S. Is some place that if you have kids, you might want your kids to go to school, right? College, or they have the GIB or whatever. Like if you're in a state like Wisconsin, for instance, that your kids go to school for free, make sure that your mailing address and you keep like a residency and your driver's license and everything in Wisconsin. So this way, when you come here and your kids are small, whatever, they can go to school. They're gonna learn a different language. They're gonna have this amazing experience. But then if they say, hey, I don't want to go to college in Europe, I want to go to college in the U.S. You can go back, like, in this case, to Wisconsin. They can go to school for free. So don't lose the residency there. Like, if you can help, which is again, like, fairly easy to keep nowadays. And then also, just know, talking about, like, keep residency and driver's license and that stuff. Renew your driver's license before you leave. So you don't want to get here and then, your driver's license expires, then you have to go all the way back to the U.S. to get it again. Just try to do it before you move, before you sell your house, so you can have, like, your water bill or whatever to give it to them. So try to, just a couple of things for you to think about it. Hopefully that helps. But yeah, like, Portugal, like, has been really, really great. Like, it has been amazing. Really love the weather. Like, right now it's like 75. It's so hot in the sun, but then you come to like the shade, and just the wind is so cool. It's great. It's very safe for the kids. And like I told you before, the biggest thing for me is, like, the ability to go explore different places. Like, you can just go, like, pop to Africa for like $40 round trip, and do all, go to Turkey, go to Albania, whatever you want to go. It's fairly, like, feasible to do those things that, like, be much harder in the U.S. But yeah, I mean, if you have any questions, or like anything that you want me to talk about and kind of tell about my experience here, then in order to help you, please just let me know. Like, put in the comments below, and I'll do my best to, like, do a video about it, and then answer any questions and talk about whatever you guys whatever's in your mind, and help in any way I can. All right, see you next time. Bye.